PJA is an organization that serves as a vehicle connecting Jews to the critical social justice issues facing the cities in which they live.
Los Angeles is an extraordinary place. It is the capital of the entertainment industry. It's also the capital of the sweatshop industry. We have more millionaires here than anywhere in the country, and we have more homeless people than anywhere in the country.
There has to be an organization in the community that says, you people that are living on the hill in Bel Air, you have to engage. What's happening with this person in Skid Row is important.
PJA is, for me, probably one of the more exciting organizations in Los Angeles right now, simply because of its connection to young Jewish Americans who are trying to find their way to be relevant in the world.
The Jeremiah Fellowship is a year-long project where a group of around 20-something-year-olds delve deeply into the world and work of our organization. That is, the life of the Jewish community and the city in which we live. They have the opportunity to meet with and speak with and study with some of the greatest scholars and rabbis and activists, some of the greatest civic leaders, and then to, amongst themselves, really hone their own Jewish social justice skills.
The Jeremiah Fellowship is an opportunity to build community, to create real social change, and to build a network of leaders, activists, politicians, in order to have a lifelong role in social justice.
There were teachers, and there were poets, and there were journalists, and there were actors and actresses, and there was lots of law students and lawyers.
And all coming together to explore their Jewish identity and to explore what it means to do social justice work.
NewGround is an attempt to create a new kind of Muslim-Jewish dialogue effort. We worked with the Muslim Public Affairs Council to create a program that brings together Muslims and Jews to explore their areas of difference, their areas of common ground, the prejudices and biases they might hold about one another, and ultimately to come together to do joint social justice work on behalf of the city.
I think NewGround does a really good job of acknowledging that we feel the reverberations of the conflict in the Middle East in Los Angeles, but we can't be held hostage by them, and that our futures are interdependent both in LA and around the world, so it's time to be constructive and start talking.
NewGround set a precedent that Muslims and Jews can actually talk and discuss difficult issues, but do it in a civil way while there's still, respect and harmony between the two groups.
NewGround is about facing the stereotypes and the myths that we find in our communities. NewGround allows people to really explore not only the differences in other people, but also be honest with themselves.
The great hope of NewGround is that it's going to help produce the next generation of Muslim and Jewish American community leaders who we believe are going to be more able to help lead our two communities towards a better future for everybody. The founding issue for PJA is worker justice. The idea that from our historical experience in this country, from our ethical, religious, and spiritual tradition, comes this imperative that it's our obligation to stand with people who are just trying to get a shot at the American dream.
For the past several years, the Economic Justice Working Group has focused on hotel workers in Los Angeles, supporting hotel workers who are trying to fight for a living wage.
These are folks that are being organized now. They're not too different than our community was when we first came to New York at the turn of the last century, where we were new immigrants, we didn't speak English, our unions were organized around Yiddish. Now it's a different language, but the issues are the same. And that connection is a very powerful connection, and it can be a powerful voice for folks who are in the same place we were about 100 years ago.
I find it very empowering to work on economic justice issues through a Jewish lens. In this particular case, I find that my own Jewish identity and my own views of history come together to motivate me to work on issues of economic justice.
Turning the Festival of Lights into the Festival of Rights.
For a number of years now, PJA has put on a big celebration for our community at Hanukkah time.
This is Los Angeles' largest Hanukkah party.
For us, the heart of this celebration is what we call the Festival of Rights, our take on a Hanukkah menorah lighting.
It's an opportunity for us to celebrate as Angelinos, the better angels among us.
We invite our activists and partners and allies from across the spectrum of LA's social justice landscape to join us and each light a candle and talk about the right that they are honoring. We're very proud to have been honored by candlelighters such as Mayor Antonia Villaraigosa, City Council President Eric Garcetti, our Labor Chief Maria Elena Durazo, and a number of other allies from community organizations and interfaith partners who stand every day with us in defense of the rights of all Angelenos.
There are ways of making a difference if we have the courage to actually stand up and do something. That's the ethic that's at the heart of Abraham saying no to the idol worshipers. That's the ethic that's at the heart of Moses standing up and saying no to Pharaoh, to the sweatshop boss of his day. That's the ethic of Abraham Joshua Heschel marching with Martin Luther King. Not because it was easy, it wasn't. Not because it was popular, it wasn't, but because it was right. And that's the spirit that animates the work of PJA. It's honoring the best parts of the Jewish tradition and helping them come alive.
If to be a Jew means to be an activist, PJA provides an avenue for activism.
PJA is a new kind of Jewish organization, one that is a vehicle for a new generation of Jews to become involved in Jewish life and, equally importantly, in the life of their cities and in their community.
I think the leadership of this organization does a miraculous amount with very few resources. And everybody who's sitting here tonight has to ask themselves, how can they help?
There's a role for you if you're passionate about these issues and you care about the statement of what the Jewish ethical tradition means today. PJA is the home for you.